Okay, hi everyone. My name is Max Kim, and today we are going to go over some SSAT Math problems. So, let's get started. The first question that we are going to go over is this question. If the average of 6 consecutive even numbers is 79, then what is the smallest number? If the average of 6 consecutive even numbers is 79, then what is the smallest number? Well, we know that these two have an average value, and these two also have an average value. We know that these two must be equal. Why is that? Because this number is this number plus 2, and this number is this number minus 2. Therefore, the sum of these two values is equal to the sum of these two values. Therefore, they must have the same average. By the same logic, these two, the sum of these two, have the same average as this pair and this pair. Therefore, because all three of these pairs have the same average, we conclude that these three pairs must have an average of 79. 79, 79, 79. What does this mean? This means that this must be 78 and this must be 80. And because this value is this value minus 4, we conclude that this value is 74, which is A, which is our answer. The next question that we will look at is Elvira is selling candy bars to raise money for her sports town. She sells 143 candy bars for $1.25 each. To increase sales, she discounts her candy bars to $0.75 each. If her goal is to raise at least $300, at least how many discounted bars must she sell to reach $300? Now, your first instinct might be to calculate how many dollars this is worth, do 300 minus that value, and then divide that by 0.75. That works, but that takes a long time. So instead, let's notice here that 1.25 plus 0.75 is equal to $2. What does this mean? Well, if we sold 143 discounted candy bars, then this would mean that these 143 candy bars and these 143 candy bars would sum to $2 times 143, which is $286. This makes our life a lot easier, because now we only need to calculate how many more discounted candy bars we need to raise an extra $14. That is just 14 divided by 0.75, which is 14 over 3 over 4, which is 56 over 3. Comes out to about 19 extra candy bars. Therefore, we need to sell 143 plus an extra 19 discounted candy bars to get the conclusion that we need 162 discounted candy bars in order to raise $300, which is the answer B. Okay, let's do one more problem. So, in this problem, we see in the addition of the 4-digit numbers shown, the letters E, F, G, H each represent a unique positive integer, so not 0. Which of the following can GF minus H equal? So, the equation, let's write on the board. E, F, G, H plus G, H, G, H is equal to 8608. So, the first thing that you can notice here is the ones digit is equal to H plus H is equal to 8 or 18. Therefore, H must either be 4 or 9. We will keep this in mind as we look at the tens digit. The tens digit shows us that g plus g is equal to either 0 or 10 if h plus h is 8, or if h plus h is 18, then the 1 must carry over. So this would be 1 or 11. However, g is a unique positive integer. Therefore, g plus g must be an even number. So we cannot have 1 or 11. In other words, h plus h cannot be 18. Therefore, h is 4. Coming back here, then g plus g is either 0 or 10. But g plus g cannot be 0. Why? Because we've already established earlier that g is a positive integer, and 0 is not a positive integer. Therefore, g must be 5. Additionally, the 1 will carry over. So we have 1 plus f plus h is equal to 6 or 16. H is 4. Therefore, f is either 1 or 11. F cannot be 11 because it is a unique one integer that is one that has that is a single digit. Therefore, f is 1. F is 1. We do not need to go any further because the question is only asking us to find gf minus h. We do not need to know what e is. So, what's gf? Gf is 5 times 1, which is 5, minus h, which is 4. So, gf minus h can equal 1, which is the answer A. Thank you.